Hello, everybody. I'm Alexey Krabarov, the founder and organizer by devreal.ai, the longest running, deepest technical AI meetup in the world. Here we're on location at Cloudflare. We have an amazing agentic meetup. And the latest addition is Vasilije Markovic, who's the founder and CEO of Cogni, startup doing AI memory. What is Cogni?
Cogni is a memory manager for AI apps and agents. It lets you load actually your data from your business, productionize it, and then lets agents and AI apps access it and enrich their context so they can give you the answers that your business needs.
And you talk about it as memory and almost like a part of cognition. How did you come to this idea that AI agents need memory?
Yeah, so my background's in business and clinical psychology. So effectively, I've been thinking for a while, how can we create these types of cognitive processes inside of the vector and graph stores so we can enrich the data, store the information in a way that humans process the data, and then effectively have a way to retrieve that in the way also humans access their different memory elements.
So it struck me as, really missing piece, because previously, like when you chat with some kind of chat GPT, right, it almost feels fairly stateless, right? And like when you drop it, you probably lost your session, right? It's gone, right? And it's like, now it's getting better because it kind of remembers what we were talking about, right? But then it's lost. So would your system allow this, agents to preserve the state of their work? Like, how long can it persist? How big can it be?
So it can get to millions and millions of documents. It can persist the data from any agents. And how we imagine it is that we have layers of memory. So we effectively store the traditional information from databases, then memory interactions, then preferences of users. And all of these layers get accessed by the agents dynamically, and these layers get updated and changing, similar to human mind. So how we effectively update our knowledge of the world as we go through it.
Very good. And you told me that, you want to go back to school and learn cognitive science. How does that kind of inform your work? Why would you study, and where would you focus your study?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I already went back to study. I'm now third year of the bachelor's, again with the 20-year-olds. It's very fun. And effectively, as I go back to study, what happened and what I saw in psychology is that they borrowed a lot of concepts from computer science in the 60s, thinking of humans as thinking machines. But then because they didn't have like these analogies to explain things further, because thinking machines stopped at a certain point, but they needed to explain behaviors and actions. There is a lot of patterns and systems that they built on top of the thinking machines, which now we can use back in AI.
Yes.
An example of that would be, how do we actually become more risk averse as we move and become older. So there is a set of models you can actually add that show that as you get to the age of 60, you're gonna prefer not to do any risky thing compared to like when you're 30 and you kind of like to do things. But then effectively these things we can put back into the AI now, and we can model how humans do it. So the reactions of the AI systems are more towards what we expect.
What's super funny to me, like you mentioned thinking machines several times. Today, Mira Murati, the former CTO of OpenAI, announced her new company called Thinking Machines. And then what really struck me, most people don't even realize that there was an iconic company called Thinking Machines in the 90s, which built a connection machine, right? So this is like a recurrent thing. It's probably our memory is very short. Like we need to put our memory in Cogni, then we probably would remember, right, that Thinking Machines is a recurrent topic. And people want to make these machines.
I think this has been tried before, and if we talk about brain, it's very ambitious, right? It's a bit too much. But what we are trying to do at this point is to create a better context for LLMs, to give it as much data as we can to avoid the context issues, and to make that auto-updating as much as we can. I think thinking machines are like 5-10 years ahead. Mira Murati is like from a town opposite to where my family is from, so neighbor in a way, right? But I think she's a bit more advanced neighbor than me at this point, but let's see how that goes.
That's right. The former Venetian state produced a lot of different cultures next to it.
Exactly.
Right. So, you're at the state where you have this really robust model, and it helps connecting different systems. So you're basically looking for partners, design partners, who will use Cogni, right, to validate the ideas. So if anybody here would like to try this out, what should they do?
Yeah, they should just go to our website, cogni.ai, and check our GitHub repo. It's all open source. Reach out to us on Discord, send me an email, add me on LinkedIn. Happy to chat, happy to try Cogni in different setups.
That can add value already, right? Like basically.
Yeah, it's already better than a basic RAG by 37%. We have the numbers benchmarks, so happy to share that with others.
Fantastic. Looking forward to your lightning talk, and welcome to the meetup.
Thank you very much.